I'd like to tell you a story
I'd like to tell you a
about a boy
story
named
about
Sven.
Born's.
He was in the 5th grade,
He's fifth grade,
autistic, and he
autistic.
couldn't read a
He
single
couldn't read
word.
a single word.
Not it,
Not it,
me,
me, the,
nothing.
nothing.
His teachers told his
His
family
teacher
that he
told
may
his
never
family
learn to
he
read.
never learned to read.
With my simple
With
reading
my simple
program,
reading
I taught
program,
Sven to
I
read.
taught him to read.
My story begins
My
when my daughter
story
was in the
began with
1st
my daughter,
grade.
the first grade.
She was a challenged
She
reader.
challenged reader.
At that time,
At that time,
I didn't know about
I
challenged
didn't know
readers.
about challenged reader.
Everyone can read,
Everyone
right?
can read, right?
Wrong.
Wrong.
According to the U.S. Department of
According
Education,
Park Education,
last year, 19% of high school
19%
students
of
in
high school
America
students
graduated unable to read above a
unable
3rd grade
to read the
level,
third grade
which is considered
later,
functionally illiterate.
functionally illiterate.
That's nearly 1 in
That's nearly
5
1 in
students,
5 students,
or
or
500,000 new
500,000
graduates
new graduates
each year.
each year.
How can anyone
How can
graduate high school not knowing how to
not
read?
knowing how to read?
Teachers are doing everything
Teacher
they
do
can to help
everything
these
they can
kids,
help these kids.
but the traditional
But the
way of
traditional
teaching
way
reading
of teaching
does
reading
not work
does
for
not
many
work for
students.
many students.
According to the
According
National
to
Assessment
the
of Adult Literacy,
Dog
in
literacy,
America,
in
85%
America,
of juvenile
85%
delinquents and 70% of prison inmates are functionally illiterate. Illiteracy is the number one predictor of future criminal
activity.
There is a solution,
There is a solution,
and this is how it came
and
about.
This is how it came about.
In my 20s,
In my
I went to
20s,
Japan to
I went
teach
to
English.
Japan to teach English.
I needed to learn
I needed
Japanese,
to learn
and I was
Japanese,
told to
and I
learn to
was told
read
to learn
first.
to read first.
I discovered
I
that the
discovered
Japanese have
this
developed a
Japanese how
system
they
called
the
hiragana,
system called hiragana,
which makes reading so easy.
It's so easy.
I learned in a
I
week.
learned a week.
I didn't know
I
the
didn't
meaning
know
of the
the meaning
characters
of the
at
character
first.
at first.
The point is
The point
that I
is,
could sound
I
out
could find
and
sound
correctly
out and
pronounce
correctly
Japanese.
pronounce Japanese.
10 years later, when my
10 years
daughter's
later,
reading
when my
challenge
daughter
opened my
reading
eyes,
opened my eyes,
I decided to
I
take what I
decided
learned in
to take
Japan
I learned to
and
Japan
adapt it to
and
English.
adapted the English.
With the help of a reading
With the help of
specialist,
reading
I
special,
wrote
I
down all
wrote
the
down
sounds of
all the
English.
sound on English.
Then
Then
I analyzed our
I
alphabet.
analyzed alphabet.
I discovered
I discovered
that of our 26
there are
letters,
26
12
letters
make only one
make
sound.
only one sound.
But these other
But
14
these
letters
other 14 letters
make multiple
make more
sounds.
multiple
The
sounds.
A makes
The
4
A
sounds,
makes
the
4
C
sounds,
makes
the
3,
C makes 3,
the O makes
the
8
O
different
makes 8
sounds.
different sounds.
I believe this is why English is so
Why
difficult.
English so difficult.
Let's take C as an example.
Let's take C as an example.
The 3 sounds of
The 3
C
sounds
are
of
in
C
cat,
are cat,
face, and ocean.
and ocean.
I was also
I
surprised
was
to
also
discover
surprised to
that
discover
these 17
these
letters
17 letters
are sometimes
are
silent,
sometimes silent,
meaning they do not make a sound in many words. Think for a moment about these 4 examples. There is no B sound in the word doubt, no G sound in the word sign, no S in island, and no W in who. The program I developed is called Narda Gani. I found a way to expose all the sounds of the 14 letters. Underneath the letters is one of these symbols. These symbols let the reader know what sound to make. They also guide students in learning to sound out words. I'm going to teach you 2 of these symbols. First,
First,
everyone's favorite symbol.
everyone's favorite symbol.
The square is your
The
lips.
square to
The line is your
the
finger. And
line
the
is your
sound it
finger,
makes
and the
is
sound makes it shh.
the sh
The
sound
the
can be
sound
made
can you
five
make
different
five
ways.
different
With
ways.
one S
With one
in
F
sugar,
in sugar,
two S's
two
in
S
mission,
and mission,
an SH
and
in sheep,
SH and
a
sheep,
T
and
in
T
vacation,
vacation,
and a C
a
in
C
social.
social.
The triangle
The
symbol lets
triangle
the reader
symbol
know
lets
the
the reader
OO
know
sound is
OO
needed.
sound is needed.
The OO
The
sound
OO
can be
sound
made
can be
four
made
different
four
ways.
different ways.
With one O
With
in
one
move,
O and move,
two O's in
two O
school,
and school,
an E in
an
flu,
E, flu,
and a U
and
in
U,
super.
super.
How about those silent
How
letters?
about the sound letter?
They're
They're
underlined and easy
underlined
to
and
see.
easy to see.
Here is an example
Here's
of our
an
symbols
example of
in
our symbol
action.
in action.
Notice the three
Notice
different
the
sounds
three
of
different
you.
sounds of you.
We
We
hum
hum
a tune
a
for
tune
you.
for you.
Dr. Jeffrey Wilhelm,
Dr. Jeffrey
Distinguished
Wilhelm,
Professor
Distinguished
of English
Professor of
Education at Boise
English
State
Education,
University,
University,
and a nationally
and
recognized
national
literacy
recognized
expert,
literacy expert,
conducted a
conducted
small-scale
a small
teacher
scale
research study
teacher
with our
research study
program.
with our program.
He concludes
He can conclude
that it works
this work
because it reduces the
it
cognitive
reduces the
overload that is
overload
typically
is
experienced by
typically
those
experienced
learning
by
to
those
read
learning
English.
to read English.
We have conducted
We
several
have
pilot
conducted several
programs in
pilot
detention
programs in
facilities, which were highly successful. Nardagani has been approved by the Idaho State Department of Education for use in Idaho schools.
Use high school.
Using
Using
Nardagani,
Nardagani,
Sven, in fifth grade,
in fifth grade,
learned to read with our symbols in 8 one-hour lessons.
1 hour lesson.
He was elated to be able to read books
coded
with our symbols.
It was pretty hard, but when I started to work with them, it is now easy. I'm going on safari. I see zebras raised on safari. Wow. I see animals all around me on safari. I did it.
You did do it.
So,
Sven
learned to read our coded books in 8 one-hour lessons. Several months later, he no longer needed the symbols. Last year in high school, Sven became a proud member of the National Honor Society of America. Sven says, I once thought reading was impossible. Now, I know all things are possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to tell you a story about a boy named Sven. He was in the 5th grade, autistic, and he couldn't read a single word. Not it, me, the, nothing. His teachers told his family that he may never learn to read. With my simple reading program, I taught Sven to read. My story begins when my daughter
story
was in the
began with my
first
daughter
grade.
in the first
She was a
grade.
challenged
She was
reader.
a challenge reader.
At that time,
At that time,
I didn't know about
I didn't
challenged
know about
readers.
challenge reader.
Everyone can read,
Everyone
right?
can read, right?
Wrong.
Wrong.
According to the U.S. Department of
According to
Education,
Department of Education,
last year,
last year,
19% of high school
19%
students
of
in
high school
America
students in
graduated
America
unable
graduated
to read above
unable
a
to
third
read
grade level,
above third grade
which is
level,
considered
which is
functionally illiterate.
functionally illiterate.
That's nearly 1
That's
in
nearly
5
1 in
students,
5 students,
or
or
500,000 new
half million
graduates
new graduates
each year.
each year.
How can anyone
How can
graduate high
anyone
school not
graduate
knowing
high
how to
school not
read?
how to read?
Teachers are doing everything
Teachers
they
doing
can to help
everything
these
they can to
kids,
help these kids.
but the traditional
But the
way of
traditional
teaching
way
reading
of teaching
does
reading
not work
does
for
not
many
work for
students.
many students.
According to the
According
National
to the
Assessment of Adult
National
Literacy, in
Literacy,
America,
in
85% of juvenile
85% of
delinquents and
juvenile and
70% of prison
70%
inmates are
prison inmates
functionally
are
illiterate.
functionally illiterate.
Illiteracy is the number
Illiteracy,
one
number
predictor
one
of
predictor
future
of
criminal
future
activity.
criminal activity.
There is a solution,
The
and this is
solution.
how it came
This is
about.
how it came about.
In my 20s,
My
I went to
20s,
Japan to
I
teach
went to
English.
Japan to teach English.
I needed to learn
I need to learn
Japanese, and I was
Japanese,
told to
and I
learn
was
to
told
read
to learn
first.
to read first.
I discovered
I
that the
discovered
Japanese
the
have developed a
Japanese have
system
developed
called
system called
hiragana,
hiragana,
which makes reading
which
so
make reading
easy.
so easy.
I learned in a
I
week.
learned in a week.
I didn't know
I
the
didn't
meaning
know
of the
the meaning
characters
of
at
character
first.
at first.
The point is
The point
that I
is
could sound
that I
out
could sound
and
out
correctly pronounce
correctly
Japanese.
pronounce Japanese.
10 years later,
10
when
years
my
later,
daughter's reading
when my
challenge
daughter
opened
reading
my
challenge
eyes,
opened my eyes,
I decided to
I
take what I
decided
learned
to
in
take I
Japan
learned in
and
Japan
adapt it to
and
English.
adapt it to English.
With the help of a reading
With help
specialist,
reading
I
specialist,
wrote down
I
all
wrote
the
down
sounds of
all the
English.
sound of English.
Then
Then
I analyzed our
I
alphabet.
analyzed the alphabet.
I discovered
I discovered
that of our
that
26
the
letters,
26 letters
12
12
make only one
make
sound.
only one sound.
But these other
But
14
these
letters
other 14 letters
make multiple
make
sounds.
multiple
The
sounds.
A makes four
The A makes
sounds,
4
the C
sounds,
makes
the
3,
C makes 3,
the O
the
makes
O
8 different
makes 8
sounds.
different sounds.
I believe this
I
is why
believe
English
this
is so
why
difficult.
English is so difficult.
Let's take C
Let's
as an
take
example.
C as an example.
The 3 sounds of
The 3
C
sounds
are
to
in
C
cat,
are in cat,
face,
face,
and
and
ocean.
ocean.
I was also
I was
surprised to
also
discover
surprised to
that
discover
these
that
17
these
letters
17 letters
are sometimes
are
silent,
sometimes silent,
meaning they do not make a
they do not
sound
make a
in
sound
many
in
words.
many words.
Think for a moment about
Think
these
for a
4
moment
examples.
before example.
There is no B
There is no
sound
B
in the word
sound
doubt,
in the word doubt,
no G sound
no G
in the word
sound in the word
sign,
sign,
no S
no
in
S
island,
in island,
and no W
and no
in
W
who.
in who.
The program I
The
developed is
program I
called
developed is
Narda
called
Gani.
Nardagani.
I found a way to
I found a
expose
way
all
to
the
expose
sounds of the
all the
14
sounds
letters.
14 letters.
Underneath the letters
Underneath the
is one of
letter
these
is one of
symbols.
these symbols.
These symbols
These symbols
let the reader
let
know what sound to
the
make.
sound to make.
They also
They
guide
also
students in
guide
learning to sound
students
out
learning to
words.
sound word
I'm going to
word.
teach you 2 of
I'm
these
gonna teach you
symbols.
symbol.
First,
First,
everyone's favorite
everyone's
symbol.
favorite symbol.
The square is your
This
lips,
where to
the line is your
the
finger,
last
and the sound it
finger,
makes
the
is
sound makes is shh.
the sh
The
sound can be made
can be
5
made
different
5
ways.
different ways.
With 1 S
With one
in
S,
sugar,
sugar,
2 S's in
2 S's
mission,
in mission,
an SH
and
in
SH
sheep,
in sheep,
a T
T
in
in
vacation,
vacation,
and a C
and
in
a C in
social.
social.
The triangle symbol lets the reader know the oo sound is needed. The oo sound can be made four different ways. With one O in move, two O's in school, an E in flew, and a U in super. How about those silent letters? They're underlined and easy to see. Here is an example of our symbols in action. Notice the three different sounds of you. We hum a tune for you. Dr. Jeffrey Wilhelm, Distinguished Professor of English Education at Boise State University and a nationally recognized literacy expert, conducted a small-scale teacher research study with our program. He concludes that it works. Because it reduces the cognitive overload that is typically experienced by those learning to read English. We have conducted several pilot programs in detention facilities, which were highly successful. Narda Ghani has been approved by the Idaho State Department of Education for use in Idaho schools. Using Narda Ghani, Sven, in 5th grade, learned to read with our symbols in 8 one-hour lessons. He was elated to be able to read books coded with our symbols.
It was pretty hard, but when I started to work with them, it is now easy. I'm going on safari. I see zebras on safari. Wow. I see animals all around me on safari. I did it.
You did do it.
So Sven learned to read our coded books in 8 one-hour lessons. Several months later, he no longer needed the symbols. Last year in high school, Sven became a proud member of the National Honor Society of America. Sven says, I once thought reading was impossible. Now, I know all things are possible. Thank you.
Thank you.